Any novelty of getting to stay at home on Memorial Day has probably worn off, so instead, let's remember what we're supposed to be memorializing. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet. This is Breakpoint. Before the coronavirus, Memorial Day meant a day off, maybe to stay at home, relax, grill out with neighbors, families, and friends. Since the coronavirus, being home is more like being stuck at home. So perhaps we might be able to redeem this day by recapturing the essence of Memorial Day, honoring those who, from love of country, have sacrificed their lives on our behalf. Years ago, Chuck Colson honored Memorial Day by telling this story of sacrificial love.
It was February 1945, 3 months before the end of World War II. 18-year-old Sergeant Joseph George was stationed in Lorient, France. It was evening, and George was preparing to go on patrol. Sergeant George had been on patrol duty the night before. As he told his friend Private James Caudill, he was tired and scared. Private Caudill offered to take the patrol on his behalf. He pointed out that at age 36, he was nearly 2 decades older than George. He told George, who had already been blown off a torpedoed ship, to go home and live a full, rich life. And then Private Caudill went out on patrol. A few hours later, he was killed by a German sniper. The actions of Private Caudill echo the values and valor of generations of military men and women we remember today. Which brings me back to Sergeant George. Joseph George came safely home to West Virginia. He married, fathered 5 sons. One of them, Princeton professor Robert George, is a good friend of mine. He's devoted much of his life to fighting the moral evils of our time, abortion, embryonic stem cell research, and efforts to redefine marriage in a way that would destroy it. In John 15:13, Jesus said, "Greater love has no man than this, that he lay his life down for his friends." The story of Private Caudill and Sergeant George makes one realize more deeply what a tremendous gift this is.
Chuck reminds us that Memorial Day is really about love of country, love of others, sacrificial love. And this week, it's Module 2 of the Truth, Love Together virtual event. And we answer the question, what is love? Here's a brief clip from the one and only Johnny Erickson Tata, talking about the only love that defines all other loves, the love of God.
The love of God costs something. And I recall decades ago when I was in the hospital, lying in bed, paralyzed, and I was so depressed, my mother would stand by the guardrail of that hospital bed for hours on end, holding books up so that I could read them. Those sacrificial hours that my mother spent by my bedside, it displayed a far deeper love than I ever imagined. And I think that is such a sweet picture of the love of God and its greatness, all because of what it costs. What it cost him, his precious son. So you have to think, what could God the Father possibly prize so much that it would be worth assigning his own dear son to brutal torture? I mean, what could possibly be worth the excruciating death of the apple of his eye? How about your salvation and mine? The measure of God's love is clearly stated in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 2. Christ loved us and gave himself up for us. There you have it.
Because today, Memorial Day, is about sacrifice, it is ultimately also about love. The rest of Johnny's presentation on the love of God, or how we know what love is available today on Module 2 of the Truth, Love Together virtual event. You can find it at conference.colsoncenter.org. That's conference.colsoncenter.org. It's free along with the rest of the event, which includes 20 other wonderful Christian thinkers and speakers. Again, conference.colsoncenter.org. For Breakpoint, I'm John Stonestreet.